Motor City, what's going on? It's your boy, T. Back at it again with another episode of Talking with T. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the two summer league games that the Detroit Pistons have played so far. They're 1-1. One game was really solid. The next game wasn't so solid, but I think it's because they were back-to-back. They were a little bit tired. But let's break it down. Let's talk about it. I'm really excited about the James Wiseman and Jalen Duren combination. But like Seth Greenberg was saying on the broadcast, they got to learn how to play with each other. Not learn how to play with each other because they're learning how to play with each other very well. One of them has to be able to guard on the perimeter. One of them has to be able to guard players such as like KD, players like Giannis on the perimeter. That's who they're going to be having to be guarding. If they can't move laterally, it's gonna be a struggle bus for the Detroit Pistons on defense when those two are on the court. For those two to be on the court, we need them to be able to do that on defense because those two on the court together, they're building good chemistry and it was working out pretty good on offensive end. And James Wiseman was balling out like he was the first overall pick that he is. And if he can keep building up this confidence, I'm excited to see what he can bring to this Detroit Pistons team with Cade Cunningham coming back. I'm excited for this upcoming season. Jalen Duren, very impressive outing the last two games. Rebounding like we know he can do, but what really impressed me, like I'm sure it impressed you guys, was his handles and those pull-up jumpers he was hitting. He was hitting threes. That's an encouraging sign. If he could keep developing that, if he could keep working on that, and he could consistently hit those, that's a huge bonus for this Detroit Pistons. I'm telling you, this young talent, we got the right coach, and we get the right coaching staff in here, the right training staff in here too. This team could be going places within the next few years. We're not as far behind as most people think if you pay attention to this Detroit Pistons team. Now let's talk about Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey was balling out the last two games, but it's the same thing at the beginning of last year. Maybe it's just because he hasn't played ball in a few months. I'm sure he was in scrimmages from April to July, but like organized ball like that, he needs to slow it down a little bit. He can't be having 5 turnovers. Yesterday he played really well. Yesterday's performance was very frustrating for me because I have a personal rivalry with the Houston Rockets. I think the Houston Rockets are an annoying franchise, just as like you guys think the same thing, because ever since that Jalen Green whole thing went down and now they got Jabari Smith, I want our young core to beat their young core. And yesterday we didn't have it. Yesterday we didn't bring it. Now let's talk about the rookie, Sasser Thompson. This is great. This is exactly what the Detroit Pistons needed. I know he's struggling shooting. I saw a video of him working on it a couple weeks ago or on Twitter, and he's been working on his shot. If he can start hitting his shot, this will be a great pick for the Detroit Pistons because he's there defensively. He's a little active with his hands. He was getting a little fouls, but the blocks were there. The defensive anticipation is there. The steals are there. The staying in front, the checking people, like keeping him in front of you. It's a beautiful thing to watch. He's long, lengthy. His playmaking ability in the transition game has been awesome. That pass he had to James Wiseman the other day where they dunked it. I'm very excited for Sasser Thompson. He puts himself in the right place at the right time. And with more time, the more this team builds chemistry, man, it's going to be a beautiful thing. Troy Weaver is putting a puzzle together. I can really see his vision, and I'm really excited that we got Monty Williams coming here. Now let's talk about like what this means for the Detroit Pistons. If all these young guys keep developing and they kind of hit, that's what I wanted to talk about real quick. Marcus Sasser, that 3-point shot is good. He needs to relax a little bit defensively. He over anticipates things, and it kind of burns him sometimes, but maybe that was his knock in college. Maybe that's why he fell. He's a little small, but that dude can create his own shot. He can create space. I'm excited for that Marcus Sasser pick. Now let's talk about what all these picks and what all these young talents mean for the Detroit Pistons moving forward. I really think our bench is going to be really solid this year because think about it. Your starting lineup is going to be Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and it's going to be Bojan or Joe Harris is probably going to come off the bench, but you're going to have Bojan in the starting lineup. You're paying Bojan a lot of money, not a lot of money, but you're paying Bojan. So you're going to put Bojan in the starting lineup. Then you're going to probably you could have Wiseman, you could have Bagley, you could have Duren. Any of those combinations, you got Stewart in there. Like this is exciting. You're starting to have more and more talent on this team, so you're going to have more talent coming off the bench. You got Monty Morris coming off the bench. The bench is going to be very deep this year. I don't know how the whole rotation is going to go, but Monty Williams has a lot of talent to work with. My expectations, we'll get into that later, closer towards the NBA season. But right now, I can see if everything goes right, where everyone stays healthy, Cade stays healthy, it's a healthy year for this Detroit Pistons team where we don't have to really struggle with long-term injuries, which is hard to do in the NBA. But if we can manage that, this Pistons team could be playing for the play-in tournament this year. I'm not going to say playoffs, but play-in tournament, double your win total. That should be the goal this season for Monty Williams. Let me know what you guys think from these 2 Summer League games. Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Help this channel grow. Like the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Motor City signing out.